I almost did something I never thought I would do, and that is walk away from everything I had built. What is happening, folks, and welcome to another video. As we talked about several weeks ago, I am going to continue throughout the winter putting up my 2 regular fishing videos every week. That is never going to change on this channel. But I also mentioned that I was going to post a 3rd video a week, and that's either going to be a story video, a gear review, something along those lines. So here it is, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I got some inspiration this morning. I'm going to tell a story that I've never told before. I got some inspiration this morning from a kid who sent me a message. I get a lot of these messages. I guess it was a kid, but said, "Hey Brent, I started a pressure washing company over a year ago, and I've started making videos online," which is awesome. And it's been 1 year, and I'm still getting very little business. My videos are hardly getting any traction, and I'm seeing all these other people in my industry who are having a lot of success, but their way of marketing and generating business does not match with my personality. I'm really at my wit's end. I feel like giving up. Do you have any advice for me? I'm going to tell you my story of the day that I almost quit YouTube forever, because it was a real thing. I was absolutely going to delete my channel, and I learned a big lesson. A huge lesson. Now, in order for me to tell this story, we've got to take it back to 2015, because I got to tell you about my initial videos and my initial response to those videos. Now, I didn't want to delete my channel till years later, but in 2015 is when I started my YouTube channel. And right out of the gate, I got pretty positive responses to my videos. Now, up until that point, I was like a 6-year charter boat captain, running 200 trips a year. So I had a boat then. I was making more boat videos. I got some really positive responses to my first year or 2 making videos. If you didn't see my last video, I told my entire story, and I went through the timeline of when I actually started generating revenue on the YouTube channel and all that stuff. So if you want to see that, go watch my story after you watch this video. But here's what's really interesting and why I almost quit YouTube. So for 2 years, for 2 solid years, I kind of grinded it out on YouTube, making these videos, kind of similar videos to what I would make when I would run a charter. I even did videos with my charter clients. I was slowly building an audience. All right, and the people that were coming to my channel, they would be repeat viewers. I was building a loyal audience that viewed my channel. But here's the problem. All right, at that point in time, I was like, man, I'm doing all this grinding, I'm doing all this work, and I'm making $0. Look at this right here. Look at this graph right here, folks. This is in 2015 and 16. I'm making nothing, all right? I'm making these videos weekly, usually 2 to 3 videos a week, making $0. So I was okay with it because I was like building something, you know? I was still in the honeymoon stage of building a business. Well, fast forward to about mid-2017 through 2018, all the way into mid-2019, okay? I started seeing these other outdoor content creators like the Guggen Squad and people like that, and they were making these videos talking about how much money they were making on YouTube and how, I was seeing the success of other creators, and I, at that point, didn't feel successful. I felt like I was kind of failing. And the reason being is because if you do something for 2 or 3 years and you're not seeing any results other than booking a few charters here and there, it was pretty depressing. So I did something that you really shouldn't do, all right? I tried to copy someone else. Now, I'm going to use the golf analogy here. I play a lot of golf. Golf is my hobby. And when I'm not fishing, I'm usually on the golf course. And so here, let me give you a great analogy of what I did. And this is a huge lesson learned. And hopefully it'll help or inspire somebody out there not to make this same mistake. Let's say that you're a 10 handicap on the golf course, which is a decent golfer. You're shooting in the 80s. Low 80s. And you've got a buddy who's a scratch player, but he's got a real unorthodox swing. It just looks crazy when he swings, but he's a scratch golfer. Well, let's say that you don't have a ton of golf experience, and you're just a consistent 82 shooter, 81, 82, 83, good golfer, not great by no means, but good. You keep watching the scratch golfers get this weird swing. Well, you get frustrated and you start, you go, in order for me to be a scratch golfer, I've got to change up everything I'm doing. I got to go to the range. I got to start swinging like my buddy over here is a scratch player. Obviously, I'm not getting any better. And so what do? You change up your swing. And instead of going to a scratch golfer, you go to a 20 handicap. Now you're shooting in the 90s. And you get frustrated, and what do you want to do? You want to toss your clubs in the water. You're ready to quit. You're ready to give up. And folks, that is exactly what I did with this channel. I'm about to show you some of the most embarrassing videos I've ever made. I was watching people like the Guggen Squad. The Guggen Squad at that time was that scratch golfer with that unorthodox swing. And they were getting tons of views on the internet, making lots of money, and they were doing things in a very unorthodox way. A lot of their videos were very gimmicky, okay? And so I'm like, well, what did I think? I'm like, man, this is what YouTube wants. I've got to change my content. Instead of being the professional fishing guide that has been running 200 charters a year, 250 charters a year, I've now got to go and start making videos with an Avengers rod, catching a king mackerel, or doing a Walmart, gimmicky Walmart deal, whatever, Amazon, whatever, all right? So I'm like, man, I don't want to do this, but I feel like in order for me to grow, this is what I got to do. So I changed my content drastically. Folks, I started doing the stupidest stuff that I have ever put on the internet.
All right, so here goes nothing with the remote control boat. There it goes with the cork quickly following. There we go. There we go.
And it was bad videos. It wasn't me. It wasn't authentic. I was trying to copy somebody else that had, obviously they found a niche. We were different. We weren't the same. They were younger. They had a kid audience. And I tried to do something I shouldn't have done. And instead of my channel going to the moon, I became a 20 handicap. All right, I was probably an 8 to 10 handicap in YouTube fishing content creation back then, and I went to a 20 instead of saying, you know what, I'm doing okay. I'm shooting 82. I need to go to the putting green more. I need to go to the driving range more. I need to work on my game. I need to play more. I need to perfect my craft. Instead of me saying, I got to perfect my craft, I all of a sudden said I got to change my craft. And that is one of the biggest business lessons I've ever learned. So many people who maybe aren't succeeding or not where they want to be try to change what they're doing. I talked about this in my last video. If you pound the stone long enough, eventually the stone is going to break. The great book, Pound the Stone. Go download it on Audible right now and listen to this audio. At this point, my issue wasn't that I needed to change my content. My issue was that I needed to pound the stone longer. Okay, so what did I do? I started making these horrible videos. It was so bad, guys, so awful.
That wasn't a little guy. Oh, big fish, guys, big fish. Holy cow.
I was losing my audience. They were saying adios. And guess what? I was getting so much hate on the internet. The amount of people telling me what a horrible job I was doing and how they hated my channel and how I was the worst fishing YouTuber out there, it was astronomical. And guess what? A lot of times people get mad at haters. But you know what? Sometimes haters can give you a reality check. Maybe it wasn't hate. Maybe it was just constructive criticism that I needed to hear. A lot of times haters can give you a reality check. So instead of letting your ego get in the way, look in the mirror and say, is there any truth to the feedback that I'm getting? Now, if they're personally attacking you and making up BS, if they're just a troll, that's one thing. But is there any truth to this constructive criticism that I'm receiving on the internet? And yeah, man, there was a lot of truth to mine. So here's what I did, and this is the almost quit moment. Still can't believe it because I was so close to giving this up. I don't think you understand. I was on my last video. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try 1 or 2 more videos and I'm done. This was in 2019, early 2019. I was like, I'm done. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm gonna run my charter business. I'm gonna sell real estate. I felt like I was doing more harm than good to myself. And I remember putting up a video, it doing horrible. It was just kind of a lame, gimmicky type video. I remember I said, you know what? I'm gonna try 1 more video, and if it doesn't work, I'm done with YouTube. And I remember somebody telling me, Brent, you have this amazing background of being a charter boat captain, a tournament fisherman. You're not the Guggen squad, okay? You are much different, and your journey and your path is much different than somebody like that. Why don't you just make the type of videos that you're making, that you know how to make, that you're out there guiding people? Go run a charter, but run it with yourself and make a video. I said, all right, I'll try it. So you know what I did? I got up the next morning. I said, you know what? I'm gonna run a charter with myself. And I'm gonna be professional, and I'm gonna be exactly who I am as a person instead of trying to be somebody else. I went to the 3 Mile Bridge. I threw the cast net. I caught some menhaden, went to the 3 Mile Bridge. I dropped down a menhaden, caught a big bull red. I'm like, you know what? This is natural. This is what I do every single day. This is me. I made this bridge monster video, fishing with big bait around the 3 Mile Bridge, and I went and put it up on my channel. It's just a normal video. Here's a little footage of it right here.
Big red. Let me get the net. There we go. We got him. That is bridge donkey number 1. We had a perfect hook set right in the corner of the mouth. Look at this big girl right here.
That video overnight got 100,000 views. And I'm just like, why did I just waste 2 years of my life trying to be somebody that I'm not? And I truly believe that had I not wasted those 2 years of my life, my channel would be a lot further along had I just stuck with who I was. But it was a life lesson. And the life lesson is, you can see it's okay to take advice from successful people, or to look at what somebody successful is doing and say, okay, yeah, maybe I need to implement a little bit of their strategy, but you have to stay with what's natural to you. Everybody has their own natural ability. Everybody has their own natural gifts. You have to use your natural gifts, and you have to continue to pound that stone until it splits with your natural gifts. Yeah, you can take ideas, that's fine, but implement them in your own way. There's a reason that every single golf swing on the PGA Tour looks different. Every baseball swing in the MLB looks different. Every single actor or actress or motivational speaker or singer or anybody that's doing anything, lawyer, they all have their own authentic style. And in order to truly be successful, you have to find your own authentic style and then put enough effort into perfecting the craft around you in order to truly have some breakthrough. That one video that you just saw kept me from deleting my channel. Now, I was not a person that gave up easily. I think I was at a point where I was so frustrated, and this is another great lesson. When you're going in the wrong direction, you're gonna feel like you're forcing things. And that's what I felt like I was doing. I felt like I was forcing every single video that I was posting on my channel. It was being forced. It was not natural. It wasn't real. It didn't feel good. It's like I'm putting up something that's not mine. And when you're forcing something in whatever business, not just content creation, if you're forcing something, then you're going to get negative results. You are going to get blessed with negative results. I can promise you that. And it's not really blessed, but that's your reward. Your reward's going to be negative because you're going to repel whatever you force. Have you ever wanted something really bad, so bad in life to happen, and you actually get the opposite results? Okay, there's a reason for that, because magic happens when you're not forcing. Magic happens when you're putting in effort, but you're enjoying the journey. The results don't matter. You're enjoying the journey. So if you're feeling like you're forcing something in life, then you're probably going to get a negative result. And that's what I got. I got a negative result from trying to put up content that wasn't my own, that wasn't me, that wasn't even, I had a completely different audience than these other creators, and I got a negative result. So to go back to that comment that I received, and if I had to give you any advice at all on your pressure washing business, how do you feel inside every day? Are you motivated? Are you excited? Because if you're motivated and you're excited and you're seeing small breakthroughs and you enjoy putting up the content around your business, or you enjoy working your business and trying to grow your business, then it might be just a case that you need to put in more time. Now, if you're getting up every morning, you hate what you're doing, and it feels like you're in the wrong place, in the wrong direction, and you feel like you're never going to achieve breakthrough, maybe you're not doing the right thing. Okay, maybe you do need to sit down and get a little bit more in tune with your body. So I'm going to end this video by saying I'm so thankful that I learned that lesson in life. I'm so grateful that that happened to me, even though I feel like I would be way further along than I actually am now with my YouTube channel. Had those 2 years never, 2.5 years, whatever, never happened. But I learned a valuable lesson, and that valuable lesson is just to stick with who you are. I learned a lot about myself during that time period, and I can promise you this: how you're going to know that what you're doing is right is it's just going to flow. It's just going to flow. And you're going to enjoy getting up every morning. This video right here, I enjoyed making. I just come out, I enjoy talking to you guys sometimes. And sometimes, I know there'll be people out there that don't enjoy the talking videos, that don't enjoy me telling a story, or they only want to see me out fishing. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. But I get so many messages when I make these kind of videos. There are people that are inspired. There are people learning something. And if I can tell a piece of my story to help someone else, I'm absolutely going to do that, because I'm in a place now where I want to be able to give back to people and to help people so that they don't necessarily make the same mistakes that I made. So folks, if you enjoyed that video, shoot me a big thumbs up. Everything I'm involved with linked in my description below. We will catch you next time.